What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the 64th episode of the Hot Takes podcast. Sorry we missed you guys last week with no pod, but we are here now, returning for a great episode for you guys. Woo. We got a lot to talk about as far as WandaVision, and then we're going to move on to our main topic for the top 5 Disney Pixar films of all time. I'm with my co-host, as always, Luke Ganz. Thank you for being here. And we're also with... Oh, wait. We don't have anyone behind the camera because I got a new camera. We don't need a cameraman anymore.
Rest in pieces, Joe.
Rest in pieces, Joe. Joe got fired. That's what happened.
See ya.
Anyway, so a lot of things to talk about as far as WandaVision. We haven't really been doing an episode-by-episode review like we did for Game of Thrones when we did the pod. Back in the day. The reason for that is just we've been doing a lot of other different topics, a lot of different guests on. We really haven't gotten the chance to talk about it. But the good thing is that me and Luke are working on a Instagram Live short series where we could talk about news updates and shows and whatnot.
Everything in your pop culture realm, sports realm, world realm. Just stuff for us to talk about on Fridays, Saturdays, whatever day we end up choosing.
Yeah, right.
And just, making it more accessible to people. I know I'm always looking for, one place to get a bunch of news.
Yeah.
So this is definitely, it's definitely going to be good to just kind of be able to give that to people and, again, just give you guys and keep you guys updated with our beautiful faces.
100%. So it's in the works. That'll be coming soon to you guys. And otherwise, that's really it as far as our podcast world going on, as far as updates and whatnot.
No more Joe and that's everything.
Not to say Joe won't be on the podcast anymore. I would love to have him on as an actual guest, maybe get him sitting down in that seat to actually talk and whatnot without having to worry about the camera and everything like that. But we shall see.
He's more than welcome on my Star Wars episode when we end up having it.
Yes.
He is more as a Star Wars fan, but...
100%.
We'll do it.
All right, so one thing before we get to WandaVision, I don't know if you saw this on Camera Barstool's Instagram or anything like that.
Barstool, yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League getting leaked on HBO Max today.
Oh.
Did you hear about this?
No.
So people attempted to watch the new Tom and Jerry movie, and when they clicked on Tom and Jerry, Justice League was playing instead. They had it up for 2 hours until they took it down. People were watching it, and they got kicked off of the movie after it got taken down.
What did people say?
I don't know what people said as far as those who viewed it, but I was just laughing at the fact that happened. I mean, DC, man, do something right, please.
You guys cannot keep... As a Marvel fan, we would never let that happen.
Yeah. Oh, no, not at all.
Dude, it's kind of just... It's just crazy, though. DC's kind of in that spot where you finally think they're getting their footing, and
yeah,
no.
Some fugazi stuff happens. But what do you call it? Who knows if someone's going to get fired for this or whatnot. I'm telling you, if it was a big budget, really super important Marvel movie and something like that got leaked onto a service, someone's getting fired. Someone's done for. Yeah. How could you let this happen sort of deal?
1,000%.
So just thought I'd bring that up and just laugh about it for a little bit.
I love me that.
But all right, let's move on to our WandaVision series review. We are going to be talking hella spoilers, so if you haven't seen any of the series yet, please skip forward a little until we get to our Disney Pixar top 5. I wrote down a couple of notes about what I thought of the series, so I'll run down them, and then you could do the same. So overall, thought it was a fantastic series. Yep. I think it was fantastic because it was so different than any other installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
100%.
Great success for them being their first show to come out and really give a big bang. People loved it.
100%.
And, it was a risk that they were clearly willing to take because, one, it was so different. And that could worry people. Yeah. And, you look at the trailers and there's not any action or anything like that. Exactly, it's like, this isn't what I wanted in Marvel sort of deal. Nick Chorman, he I remember talking to him about it. He said that he thought he wasn't going to like it at all. He said it looked stupid, everything. Yep. Ended up loving it. And I feel like that was the case with a lot of people.
I don't think I ever said it... I don't want to like perjure myself right now because I don't think I ever said it was going to be bad. I thought it was going to be good. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you know how I felt about Wanda and Vision. I was not a fan.
I knew how you felt about Vision for sure.
Wanda, I was like, you're a badass, but I was kind of just overseeing them.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
The furthest thing from the case after this.
Mm-hmm.
Furthest thing.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'll kind of talk to really quickly about what you just said that I think 100% is the gamble that Marvel took. And regardless if you liked the show or not, if you really want to critique this or not, like, it did well. That's all that matters. Regardless if you were a fan or not, it did really well. And it set up a lot for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I love it. The crazy thing is when they rolled this out, they didn't do any of their big names. Loki is their big name.
Oh,
like,
right.
Vision and Wanda have a show.
Yes.
Falcon and Winter Soldier have a show.
Yes.
Loki has a show. Hawkeye.
Yep. Yeah.
All secondary
characters.
So for them to do that and say like it's not like they already made an Iron Man show and they have success off it or a Hulk show. They had nothing. Yeah. No TV shows to go off of. And they said this is where we're going to go in the direction with it. So I think they took an amazing gamble on it, and I think it really paid off, and I think they've done a phenomenal job, and we'll keep talking about it. You know, I'll let you get to a couple more of your points because I have some stuff to talk about with just like where it's going to go and everything. So
for sure. My next point, what you were saying about how you could basically care less about him almost like in the movies and whatnot. This is the best thing they've ever done with Vision.
Paul Bettany deserves every award.
I
and Elizabeth
agree.
Olsen, same
they
thing.
Both do.
They both deserve fucking awards, man.
Yes.
Regardless if you are, and anyone that hates on Marvel and or superhero movies winning shit, go screw yourself.
Yeah.
Stop being an old baggy
That's being very
loser.
stereotypical,
like,
you know?
It doesn't have to just be... That last episode had me on the brink of tears.
Oh, yeah.
That last episode had me emotional. So any of you losers that are like, oh, well, I can only have it if you... shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Because we are in a generation and a time now that this is cinematic. It's not your stupid night. Not that any old Batmans or Supermans are stupid, because I think they're great for what they were in the time. They're not that anymore. They're not your boom, pow, doink.
Yeah.
That's not it anymore.
Right.
It is you're emotionally invested in these people. And guess what? That's what a movie is. So when you get emotionally invested in someone from Tenet, someone from Interstellar, Inception... It's the same thing as these movies.
Right.
So stop playing this whole...
Why does it have to be differentiated,
it doesn't have to be that. And if the movies are doing well enough and they're cinematically good... Endgame, you're telling me that Infinity War wasn't a great movie?
Right.
You're telling me Infinity War was not beautifully put together? You're a liar. You're an idiot. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Because I'd love to know your favorite movie. I guarantee it's White Chicks. Anyone that says that, they'll be like, oh, well, what's your favorite movie? They'll give you your typical, oh, Superbad.
Right. Okay. That would annoy me. That would annoy me.
Again, I have no problem with people liking good movies like that. But so many people now fall into that where they criticize. Again, superhero movies are popular now. Yeah. We are finally accepted for superhero movies and sci-fi and all that shit. But you still have people that are old school and old heads that are like, oh no, and you're like, I'm like, great, what's your favorite movie? And it's like something that plays on TBS 5 times a day. It's like, okay, great.
You're right.
And it's not to hate, it's just like, don't hate on what we like, and we won't hate on what you like.
Yeah, exactly.
And respect the game of movies and TV. Like, if you didn't like the last season of Game of Thrones, I get that, but guess what? Cinematically, it was beautifully put together.
Yes,
if you didn't like the storyline, which a lot of us didn't, I get that. But guess what? It still deserved to win awards for how good it was shot, how well put together it was. It wasn't in the exact way we wanted it, but guess what? You're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Like, these people are watching and binge-watching Netflix shows that are just mindless content. And they're like, oh, well, this is good. And it's like, okay, like, it's all subject to the viewer. That's fine.
That's what I was going to say.
But don't say that your show is better than mine. And then when you break the shows down, yours is just filler, which is not bad. Like, I still sometimes I just like to watch it. Trailer Park Boys is one of my favorite Netflix show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like, So it's fine to like that kind of stuff, but don't go and say like, oh, well, your shows are stupid. It's like, no.
No, it's all preference.
Yeah.
All preference, and you can't hate on the
little
others
rant.
with it.
Just had to yell at you people really quickly. Anybody yelling? Anybody watching? So,
But anyway, I think what they did with Vision in this series
Amazing.
is great. It made people care about Vision so much more. And the guy's dead. The Vision we knew is dead. Yes, we have a new white Vision who could possibly adapt and become the Vision that we became to know and love.
He did get his memories.
He got his memories back.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, he could adapt to becoming and have the personality of Vision again.
I mean, it's basically... I am not going to lie, I am surprised, because I did think for a part of me that it would be Vision and Wanda at the end of that in that cabin. A part of me thought that. A part of me really thought you were going to go in there, and Vision was going to be, like, half asleep or, like, whatever, and Wanda was going to be, like, tooling with his head.
Yeah, right.
But I get that you can't do that right now.
Yeah.
Because you have to get Wanda now, whatever she goes and does... You didn't hear me, but whatever she goes and does, Vision will hopefully come back after that point and then have involvement to try to get her back or whatever. But
I thought the fight scene with the two Visions was phenomenal.
The white Vision coming out of the fire was one of the coolest.
Some Terminator type shit, man.
That was such a cool shot. I literally, I want to put that on a T-shirt so badly.
Yeah, that'll be a cool one.
Will.
That'll be a cool one.
Yeah, going into the weekend, like.
Yeah, right. I think it's one of the best fight scenes that Vision has ever had in any project in the MCU.
100%.
And I was with my grandma yesterday, and she showed me this article, and they were mad at the show. No, they were mad at Infinity War because WandaVision proved a point to them. Like, remember when White Vision was trying to take the Mind Stone out of Vision, and then he phased through it?
Yeah.
They're like, why did you do that when Thanos did it? So the guy was stabbed and he wasn't able to phase through.
Yes. See,
like, you know? Like, right. I'm reading this article. I'm like, Grandma, don't read this garbage.
Yeah. Was it a Facebook article? Not to
No, it wasn't on Facebook. No.
That's always my buddy. Just as a real quick thing, my buddy today, he literally sent me a thing this morning. Was like, Luke Skywalker series confirmed, and it was a Facebook article. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like,
it's just those attention grabbing
and it was
things.
it was Sebastian Stan with it. Which,
right, because that's what's heavily rumored and they want it, fan
which
favorite.
I would love that.
Me too.
I think it really makes sense, but like, it had it, and I was just like, I looked at it, I was like, oh boy, I was like, and my buddy's name is Anthony. I'm like, Anthony, hate to break this to you, man, but this ain't real, my guy. Like, I literally went on Twitter immediately. I was like, let me just entertain it, and I like typed it into saying nothing. I was like, nope. Oh man, no, again, people just want to yell, man. They're just like, they don't want to fact check it. I said the same thing when it happened. I was like, oh, that's interesting, but then in my head, I'm like, yeah, but he was also in a point where he was like very weak at that point.
Yes, exactly.
We had 85% health Vision right there in that battle.
Yeah,
he was more than fine. So for him to phase through it, it made sense. It's still early on. Like,
yes.
The Thanos battle, not so much. Like, he was on his last leg regardless of what happened. So, think.
Yeah, right, exactly. It still leaves a good amount of questions for us.
Yep.
But it was probably done on purpose for future 100%. Projects. Things like, we'll get to that.
The brooch. You want to start with that? Did you put that on there? Agatha's brooch is still on it when she wipes her back. Did you notice that?
Wait, say it again?
Remember the brooch? Did you watch the videos?
Like the necklace
thing? Remember the necklace that has the 3 people on it?
Yeah.
A lot of people were alluding to every time she had that, it was when she was being a witch. Like, that's her, what did the Red Witch wear in Game of Thrones? Remember the necklace?
Yes, that prevented her from being
apparently is whatever. So when Wanda turned her back, she still had it. So people are thinking a part of her is still there as the witch, and she's not fully trapped in Wanda's spell.
Oh, okay.
So people think that there's a good chance that, like, down the line, because in the comics, Agatha Harkness kind of mentors Wanda. So a lot of people are alluding to the fact that, like, when she responded back and said, not if I see you first, that it will be that Agatha will break that and then eventually meet back up with Wanda to kind of train her.
Okay, yes.
And be that person. But
because when I was reading up on her, she's sometimes a good guy.
She's like an anti-hero.
Yeah, 100%.
She's definitely bad. Yeah, but like I was saying this the other day. I would love to have, if I could like snap my fingers. If I could snap my finger, and like if I could just know all the comic book knowledge, I would love to. Like I really do wish back in the day I was a comic book nerd, and like I wasn't that kid that was like, oh well, I can't read, so like in general it would have been a struggle. But like, you know, I just like I wish that was the knowledge I knew, because you hear some of these people talking, I'm like, holy shit, man! Like how did you know that? You know, like so much comic book knowledge with this stuff, and it's also hard to decipher now because like. What's canon, what's not canon. Like, they basically completely wiped off Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right, because that book was a part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I keep on forgetting the name of it. Should I look it up right now? No? You know it? Well,
the Darkhold!
Yes, the Darkhold, yes.
Let's go!
Right, they used that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for Ghost Rider.
Yes.
And that's just showing that it's not really as canon as we thought it may
There's
have been.
a lot of people alluding to the fact that it might be an alternate universe. Like
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
They could. Because, I mean, think about it. If you really wanted, that's what you could do, and you could then, like, pick them from the alternate universe and, like, throw them in if you wanted to.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
Well, it's Mackenzie.
Someone here. I hope the cameras pick that up.
It probably
if not, we're just gonna be like this, like seeing fucking ghosts. Do you have the Ralph thing on there?
I do.
Do you want to break it down really quickly, or do you want to get to something else? You do whatever you want. I just want to talk about it, and I don't want to forget about it.
I'll move to that point right now.
Okay, great.
So I am very, very, very disappointed.
Okay.
With Evan Peters' Quicksilver role. The whole Ralph thing, little backstory, me and Luke have been watching New Rockstars, breaking it down for us.
The best.
They're the best.
New Rockstars.
Wrong about a couple of things.
Yes, well, of course, that's kind of...
It's theories.
That's kind of... It's all theories, so you kind of got to rock with it. What is it? New Rockstars and...
Emergency
Screen
Awesome.
Crush and Emergency
Screen Crush
Awesome.
is good too, yeah.
Those are my... Every time I watch an episode, I watch those again to really get like the knowledge on it and stuff, and they've really helped me to better... And that... I think that's even better for people that casually watch this stuff, because if you really want to become like fully immersed in it, that's a great way to do it. Don't take everything for what it is, because it's not, again, a lot of the shit they're throwing at the wall is not sticking.
Yeah.
But they got to throw it all. Like they got to...
Yeah.
You're making theories. That's what you got to do, you know? You can't just be like, oh, well, something's going to happen. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, you know, you got to put some stuff out there.
Little side note about that. I saw an article today why people are disappointed with the ending because the theories just got too much to their head and whatnot, and it disappointed them.
So Paul Bettany kind of did a genius thing that really did become a huge troll. So he was the one that went on Lights, Camera, Barstool.
Yeah.
And he went on Lights, Camera, Barstool instead. I'm so charismatic with this guy. We have such chemistry.
Yep.
And he really did an amazing troll job, and good for him. Like, you know, I think Elizabeth Olsen really did kind of screw us a little bit, though, because she did say that there was the Luke Skywalker-esque moment.
Yeah, right.
And not to say that the White Vision wasn't, because for the deep cut people, the White Vision was probably, oh, that's sick.
Right, and that's not something they've made up either. That was from the comics as well.
And Monica Rambeau was also something like that, so a lot of people were hyped about that, and Billy and Tommy, like Wiccan and Speed, like those are all great, but like...
A little backstory on that. Paul Bettany said there was going to be an amazing surprise cameo towards the end.
Someone that he's always wanted to work with in his career. That was where people really got invested, because the breakdown became people were going, and he said it's been one of my favorite people that I've watched and someone I've always wanted to work with. And a couple years ago, he like came out and said he wanted to work with 3 people, and 2 of them he had worked with, and the only person left was Al Pacino. So people were like, "Oh shit, Al Pacino's
even though I feel like
Mephisto."
That was a stretch, but
no, I agree, but
as Mephisto,
when you think about it, Al Pacino would have been really good as Mephisto, because it could have been a secondary character, like a bad villain, but didn't have to be there. And not only that, I mean, we're thinking nowadays, like, we're like, oh, that guy wouldn't get involved. I mean, Christian Bale's playing him. Like, Christian Bale, like, Keanu Reeves, like, all these guys are getting involved. Angelina Jolie, like, all these people that were not movie. I mean, Like, you know, it's there now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just like, I don't want to take that role.
You have people like Michael Douglas, who's Hank Pym in Ant-Man, you know, like a great actor, you know?
Who's what's her name? Mrs. Pym.
Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer?
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, I think so. Let me look that up real quick.
Look it up, because I don't want us to crucify her.
Yeah.
It's Michelle Pfeiffer. No, it's...
Pym's wife. Janet Von Dyne, and that is... Who's the actress? Tell me the actress. Are you not going to tell me who the actress is?
Is it Kurt Reynolds' wife?
I don't know.
Look it up.
Cast. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
It is. Yeah. Janet Van Dyne / the original
you know,
Wasp.
it's exactly. So it's not something completely. So that's where it becomes the issue. Again, I love that kind of stuff. I mean, we were dealing with the same thing with The Mandalorian. You know, we were trying to figure out every episode who it was going to be. There was going to be someone new that came in. Who are they going to bring back? A lot of people. It started to become Mace Windu, was very much foreshadowed.
Yeah.
Like. So I get it. Look, I don't take offense to it, because until I see the person on the screen, I'm not sticking with it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Until I see that person there, and until they explain their stories, I don't get it. So that was the same thing with like the Quicksilver thing. Like, I get it. It pissed a lot of people off, and it bothered people. It
pissed me off a little bit, for sure.
I get that, but I just also was like, you know what? Like, I didn't believe it was him until I got to the end point. Like, I wanted to believe, like we talked about this, I wanted to believe that he was the alternate version. They pulled him. No, a lot of people are still thinking there's a chance. A lot of people are still thinking he was the person in witness protection, and that's why he has the headshot, and that he's remembering who he is, and that Agatha like completely grabbed him as an alternate reality person that was there and brought him there prior. I know that's a stretch. I don't hate it. If you want to come back and address it and make it that he is that person, sick. But, you know.
I was just... It was just a stunt casting, you know?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
It was just a stunt cast.
Yeah.
It was a stunt cast, and it just seemed like something that Marvel would never do, but
I think
they did it
to troll us to a degree.
They did.
Like,
they did. This show is all about trolling.
But don't you enjoy it?
Like,
but listen, I know it pisses us off, but I also enjoy that, because I'm like, they're listening. That, I think, is cooler than anything else.
Well, they're listening to the fact that everyone loved that version of Quicksilver, so hey, let's bring Evan Peters there and do some Quicksilver stuff.
They're listening to everything, because there's certain scenes. Did you watch the breakdown for episode 7 when they had the circus up, and remember it was like, who's the bluffer, or like call your bluff? There was something in the background. It was calling us out for the guessing thing.
Yes.
And then the board, when it was like, who is what? It's the same thing. So I love that, because they're calling us out for how invested we all are. And we are literally sitting there deciphering this shit, breaking it down.
Yep.
So it's a bummer that they didn't bring it in and do a whole multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Do I think it's over? Completely not. Like, do I think this could be a great bluff if they play it out the right way? 100%. I mean... You could literally still pull him out of the multiverse, because guess what? In another alternate universe, he could be Quicksilver, which is exactly the concept.
Yeah.
So it could almost be funny if... I think it would have been really a cool concept if Westview would have acted as the multiverse portal, where then In and Out could have come. Because then that would have been a great lead-off for when Ralph meets the Quicksilver, and they're like, you know, doing the mime thing, and they're doing all that shit.
Right.
Like, you know, but listen, we're going to be fine.
When
it comes to I do get it. Listen, I was bummed too, because I was like, thought we were really going to get this multiverse thing finally. I was like, I thought we were finally going to.
And that also, the whole Evan Peters thing debunked another theory that was going around the internet, that Ralph was Mephisto, when it ended up just being this guy's name. And the joke, it was like Ralph Boner.
B-O-H-N-E-R.
Boner. Yeah, Boner. Yeah. Like, that was funny. Like, it was stupid, but it was funny.
I'm loving it, man. I was like, you know what? You guys are so... And I was like, you know what? If I can get trolled by, like, that, I'm impressed. Like, if I can go and get a Disney show to troll me...
Yeah. Yeah, like, right.
Good for you guys. Like, good for you that you know we are watching that well and we are this invested that you guys can do that to us, you know?
Yeah. No, kudos to them for that. Now that I'm thinking about that, yeah, kudos to them.
Exactly. But I get it too, though, man. Trust me. It's a bummer, you know.
So Paul Bettany's secret cameo at the end, it was himself, White Vision. I wished it was Doctor Strange. I really wanted to see Doctor Strange, even at the post-credit. When Wanda was in the cabin, I just wanted to see Doctor Strange fly over and be like, hey, I've heard you got this book. Give that to me. Because I think that's how they're gonna tie into each other.
Yeah.
Because I think Doctor Strange is all about protecting the realm. This earth, the realm from all these magic things.
Yeah.
And that's a big one. The Darkhold is a big one.
I'm very interested to just see what they do, because it's going to be very interesting to see if they completely paint Wanda as this villain, because I don't think she is.
I'm going to have something to say about that later on, too. Yeah.
I think she's doing it for her best interest, which every superhero has done at some point. Like, all of our favorite people have done it for their love interest or for their own benefit before. You know, I mean, think about it. Iron Man, they've done it for their people they love. Cap, they've done it for the people they love. Thor, done it for the... So, it's like the test of time. And again, Wanda has probably lost the most when it comes to the key people. Like, I mean, with what happened to her family, what happened to her brother, what happened to Vision, what happened to Vision again, what happened to just Vision again,
right.
What happened to her two kids. So
I will have to argue on 2 points of what you said.
I'm all here.
Number one, I win.
Nice.
I think Thor has lost more than Scarlet Witch. Lost his whole world,
Odin,
mother, dad, brother, Heimdall, like one of his best friends.
Yeah.
I think he lost more, but obviously they weren't going to make a show on his traumatizations. He has movies,
that's
whatnot.
Understandable.
But that's like a small thing. The big thing is that I'll argue with is that she is a villain. She's an accident. She's a villain on accident, and I do like that line when she said to Agatha, you see, you do these things on purpose. I've done them by accident. Remember when she said that?
Yeah.
It's like that still doesn't excuse you from what you did.
That doesn't allow.
It doesn't.
That
you
doesn't
know what
allow
I mean?
It to be okay.
It doesn't allow it to be okay. She's like an accidental villain. Chaos magic, like they keep on saying it in the show. Chaos magic. She's a chaos witch. She in the book, The Darkhold, she is meant to help destroy the world. Like, there's prophecies made of her. I think those prophecies are going to come into fruition, however you say that.
Come to fruition.
Yeah. And she might not want to become the villain, but I think she's a villain, and she's not going to be able to help herself.
She's going to be a full villain.
I think she'll be a full villain in Doctor Strange. I do think so.
But this brings up the point that I told you before. At the end of the show, her kids are yelling from the multiverse.
Right. And that's the other thing I was going to say. Yeah, every superhero's done it for themselves at a point. But I don't know. Mind controlling a whole entire town plus more with sword agents and whatnot. Them not being able to see their kids and whatnot, being trapped in this in Westview and everything. It's messed up. It's kind of messed up.
I'm not condoning that stuff. I understand to a degree why she did it, but I also think that Agatha was only amplifying it. Like, I think she did it to become it, but I think a lot of the seed was planted from Agatha.
Yes, She wanted to keep it
and
rolling.
Kept egging it on because, I think it would have gotten to a point eventually where people would have been able to have told her from outside, your superheroes would have then gotten to a point where it's like, hey, what's going on? And yes, like, people will say, like, well, why didn't they earlier? It's because not only did you have Wanda working on it, you had Agatha. So 2 witches are working. Nobody's going to know about what's going on.
Yeah,
look at how quiet it was about it. So
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
I agree with you. I get it. My only thing is that I think when it's going to come down to it, the kids will be so important to bringing her back, because I do think realistically the kids will be there, because the point I brought up, they're half real, technically speaking, because she's real, even though if you want to get into the semantics, logistics, like Vision's not sentient, but she created that Vision in this every other person was mind controlled.
Yeah.
She created the boys and Vision.
Yeah.
The boys were conceived differently than Vision was. She conceived Vision from the Mind Stone and literally a part of her.
Meanwhile, she actually gave
the
birth
boys.
to...
She technically gave birth to the boys, however
Yeah.
you want to say it. But
Well, probably
the boys
still using magic,
exactly,
but yeah.
magic. But the boys are half of her, which is a real being.
Yes.
So
yeah,
if
that's
you
right.
want to get logistical, that's where I almost thought at the end of it, I thought the crazy thing was going to be when the house turned to dust, you were going to see the two kids on the ground, hey Mom, what's up?
Yeah.
I really was holding out hope for that, because I thought that was going to be it, and I was going to be like, boy, let's go, because then that would have kept her in a good state and she wouldn't have went full super crazy.
Yeah.
But
I think it's way too early to tell
yeah,
what the MCU is going to do with the technicalities of magic and everything like that, the
Yeah.
technicalities of the multiverse, because, you've probably watched, you explained it to me through text and whatnot, the whole thing that she heard her kids through the multiverse
on the end, yeah,
at the end in that post-credit scene. I still think that's a little up in the air too. I think the thing that she's hearing them from the multiverse is a little bit up in the air as well. I think it's too early to tell.
Lock.
It's a lock.
It's
you
a
think
lock.
It's a lock.
I'm only telling it's a lock because when you watch it, they're calling out to her. It's there.
Which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't necessarily make sense, but we're gonna find that out.
Right.
Because this could go into bringing Mephisto or Nightmare into it by him then knowing that she was going to close the hex, bringing them into the multiverse. So he could have done that. But the only reason that I also say that, in my opinion, it's 100% a lock is because what I texted you about how the two of them were filming together. In December, they both posted the same day pictures of them in England within 500 feet of each other.
Yeah.
At two different locations. I didn't do this research, I swear to God. But I'm not the crazy, creepy guy. I'm just reading it. But I read it, and they both posted it on the same day, and it's in the exact same location where, earlier that day, Benedict Cumberbatch was, recording whatever in England.
Yeah.
So that's where they're making the second Doctor Strange. So I do really think that this is going to be, part of that. I think it's 100% a lock that we're going to see the two of them in this movie.
Oh, I think that's a lock. Yeah, I think that's a lock as well.
I think it's going to then just become the issue of what Wanda is doing to
get them.
Yeah, because you know what? I think there's a great chance, and I really hope I'm good with this one, that she's doing this to save them, and other people are perceiving it as she's doing it as a bad thing. Same way that WandaVision kind of was now. She's going to try to save Billy and Tommy, Wiccan and Speed, but people are like, holy shit, you're destroying whatever. And it's by her doing that, she's trying to save her kids. But it's because Mephisto Nightmare is
enabling it and everything like that.
Making her destroy more and able to fully really do this. So I think that's really a huge point of what's going to be there.
I agree.
Because I think that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to go at her, but I do think at the end they will probably team up to defeat the...
I'm sure it'll be something that case as well. But like I said before, she's going to do something on accident. She's an accidental villain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's an accidental villain. All she's going to do from now on in the MCU is just cause chaos.
It just sucks though, because I never thought I'd like these characters. Now I like them.
It's crazy. I know. Shit, I know. Well, Vision, yeah. I think a great line was when White Vision got all those memories back and all he says is, I am Vision, and just flies off. So that's a question, too. Where do you think he went? Do you think he went to some of these places? Maybe he's going to try to not relive the past, but visit all these places where these memories are coming from and stuff like that?
I don't know. I think it would be a really smart thing for them to do if he flew to Stark Tower and coincidentally there was someone else, a new tenant there, and it was the Fantastic Four, and that's how we got introduced to him.
Okay.
That'd be a cool way to do it.
Yeah, it would be a cool way
to do it. Just Vision busts into the window and he's like, Tony, and instead Reed Richards turns around the corner. John Krasinski's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. That would be cool. Speaking of Fantastic Four, White Vision does kind of look similar to the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. A lot of people thought that Reed Richards was going to be the person, too, and I did think that for a second.
Yes, I did,
because it would have made a lot of sense. Cause
it still can be.
Yeah.
It still can be.
Well, a lot of people are saying that it was just the scroll. Like, that was it.
Oh,
they kind of just, like the girl was the person, and that was it, or the other. Whatever, man.
Speaking of the scrolls... Nick Fury had S.H.I.E.L.D. and he had hired spies and everything to let him know what's going on around the world. Now he has the legit spies. He has Skrulls on his side now that go to Earth. Which is
good because Skrulls were bad.
Some of them are good.
Some comics.
Yes.
The Skrull invasion or whatever.
Yeah. Secret invasion, which they're doing. They are doing that for Disney Plus. But, Nick Fury's got some legit fucking spies now that around Earth, and he's just chilling in space. He doesn't have to do anything right now.
He's living the life. I'm not going to lie. I thought at the end it was going to be him, and it was going to be when she pointed up, it was going to be him in, like, the rafters of the movie hall. I thought that would have been a really good way to do it, or even if it was Captain Marvel. A lot of people are alluding to that she's going to meet up with Captain Marvel. She's going to meet up with Nick Fury.
I think she's meeting up with Fury first.
It doesn't seem like she likes Captain Marvel.
Yeah, right. There seems to be some bad blood a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're on good terms, and it's probably because Captain Marvel probably abandoned her because that seems like the consensus that's all Captain Marvel does.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I think she's definitely meeting Nick Fury, and it'll introduce a great concept with it. I want to get back to the point where this shit's rolling out, man. I want more of this content. And thankfully, we have Falcon and Winter Soldier.
2 weeks.
Loki.
In June.
Yeah.
Before Loki, Black Widow should be out.
Yes. Well, I think they're going to stick to it now.
I think they're sticking to it now,
so
too.
Black Widow, Loki. What's after Loki?
Eternals.
Is that after
Eternals
Loki?
In November. No, I'm sorry.
No,
Eternals
Spider-Man.
in October.
October, and then November is Spider-Man, isn't
December,
it? December
on Christmas is Spider-Man. And then we get Doctor Strange in March, a year from now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they will be rolling through. Listen,
and I think
we've had a year of nothing.
Are we also getting some other stuff too?
Disney Plus shows?
That?
Maybe Hawkeye is coming.
No, Hawkeye is definitely this year.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. I'll have to look that up.
Let me see.
Yeah, look it up. I think Hawkeye might be early next year, maybe right before Doctor Strange comes out. That's just my guess. Who knows if they even have a release date for it, like an official release date for it right now. Yeah.
This is 4 weeks ago, the updated Phase 4 release dates. WandaVision, January 15th. Falcon and Winter Soldier, March 6th, March 19th. Black Widow, May 7th. Loki, May 2021. Shang-Chi, The Return of the Ten Rings is apparently supposed to be July 9th. I haven't heard anything from that.
That's what they're saying is next?
Yeah.
Well, they skipped Doctor Strange and
this is only July of 2021. We're going into July.
Oh, okay.
So that's then. Okay. What If is in July, in the summer.
Yes.
Hawkeye is in late of 2021, they're saying.
Okay.
Miss Marvel is late 2021. Eternals in November. Spider-Man December. Doctor Strange March. Okay. And Thor Love and Thunder May.
I didn't realize a lot of these other Disney Plus shows that are filming right now are going to be pumped out to this year. I didn't realize that.
I remembered when they said it, they were going to put a lot of that content, because then when you think about it, next year, we start off basically with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Then we go to what?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange in March, so a couple months later. Then Thor. That's in May. Let's say May, June.
Yeah.
Then you're probably going to get another movie at that point, and then another movie. So, that's when I think the movies are going to start kicking over again.
Yes.
So, I think this is great with the TV shows, because the TV shows almost didn't have the chance to make up the ground.
Yeah, facts.
And it's almost better now that the TV shows were playing when they were. Marvel freaking had the pandemic book locked down. They knew this pandemic was going to come, because they're instead,
seems that way. Yeah.
Now they're releasing TV shows which take so much less to do than a movie. So
yeah,
I
The only thing that worries me is that obviously, like, the true Marvel fans and the people that are really invested in the MCU are going to be watching these shows.
Yeah.
But, you know, I talked to some people and it's like, the TV shows just aren't for it for me. It's like, I don't know, man. I think you need to watch these things to understand what's going to happen in these movies and everything like that,
think
you know?
Anybody that says the TV shows aren't for me needs to, like, rethink their fandom with it. Because
I agree with it, yeah.
Like, it's the same argument that I make to people with Clone Wars and Rebels. People hated Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels. They're like, I'm not going to watch a TV show. Like, no.
It didn't help that it was animated, too, making it seem like more of a kid show.
But then when you go and you're like, all right, try it out. Invest yourself.
Yeah.
I talk to friends that are diehard Star Wars fans that didn't used to watch that shit. They watched it, and they are in love with it. They loved every second of it. Again, this is stuff that's going to give you more content. You can just keep watching the movies if you want, but guess what? When you go watch from Endgame, and then the next movie you watch is Multiverse, you're going to be confused.
Of course, yeah. You're going to be confused.
So,
but you know what? Marvel does a good job in making movies where, like, obviously you're going to appreciate it more if you watch the other ones and other shows, but you could almost jump right into it. It'll still be a good movie to you regardless,
I think they do, but I don't think that's going to be the case for much longer. Not saying 100%, but when you go into Multiverse, you're going to need to know why Wanda is possibly the main villain. And yes, they're going to explain it, but you're going to also want to know that she hypnotized the whole town. You're going to want to know she created 2 kids, because you're going to see Wiccan and Speed come up if they do, and you're going to be like, oh, sick, 2 kids.
Yeah, it's like, when she have kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're going to see White Vision.
Right.
Whenever you see White Vision next, and you're going to be like, when did that happen? They're not going to explain that. That's not going to be, not going to talk about that. So I agree with you that I think they do a really good job, but this is going to be something very important for them that they need to get over the hump of, okay, people, like, I get it, but, like, you go and watch all your shit that you do. Take the time out and watch these shows.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of people also were hypocritical of WandaVision. Like, I mean, I get it. We talked about it. The first 4 episodes, I know I loved it from the beginning. I thought it was just a different show.
I loved it from the beginning, too.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of buddies of mine that were like, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's good, man. This is good content. Yeah. This is exactly what you want it to be. They're like, oh, it's just too different, and I don't get it, and it's not moving. I'm like, no, it's moving. It's just it's explaining what's going on. Yes. It's taking its time. That's what a TV show does.
Yeah.
Like, people complained, if Harry Potter was a TV show and was more seasons, it'd be more explained. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't make the WandaVision and Vision movie. They didn't make Wanda and Vision the movie.
Yeah, right.
Because they wouldn't have been able to fit it. Instead, they made it into 9
hours.
Not just
that. I just don't think something like this would work as a movie. I don't think it... Actually, it might. It could have, but
I think this would have worked better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, I think it's too early to say that.
Well, no, I know that, but, like, so Falcon and Winter Soldier, as much as they're primary characters, they're, like, not. Like,
oh, yeah.
So, like, the dueling over the shield, I get it. But, like, Wanda and Vision, at least I know what happened there. And also, Vision was dead. And also, Wanda was alive. And also, Wanda's been a bad guy, good guy. So, that's where I come to the point of, like, okay, I'd probably like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But, again, we got a TV show, so it's good.
Yes, 100%. I wanted an Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver cameo so bad in a flashback scene. Like, I think it would have been a perfect opportunity to get Aaron Taylor Johnson in a flashback scene in the 8th episode.
Did we not see him?
We didn't see him at all. Actually, we saw him from a scene of Age of Ultron when he dies. But, like, I wanted a legit cameo from him in some sort of sense.
Yeah, I wonder why he didn't. I mean, like,
it makes me think that there's maybe, bad blood between
Marvel and him. But I don't know if that'd be the case, because they referred to Kick-Ass multiple times, which him and him and who's the other Quicksilver? Come on, Evan Peters.
Yeah,
Evan Peters were both the main characters in Kick-Ass.
Yes,
and they're both the same person, that's just funny coincidentally. But that's where I don't think it would, because if they really wanted to, like, yes, that would have been it. But they also would have never done a flashback at all, and then they also wouldn't have alluded to any of the Kick-Ass stuff as a deep cut.
Yeah,
they just would have kept it alone, because that's Marvel and they can do that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But
I definitely wish I saw a cameo from him just to see him again. I think that Quicksilver, a lot of people didn't like that Quicksilver, but then again, we only saw him for one movie. Yeah. You know?
No, I didn't think he was that bad.
I
didn't like him then. I like him now. Like, the more you see the sacrifice he made and that he could have been a good guy, the more I'm like, okay, like, you know, I feel for this dude.
Definitely. Agatha Harkness, fantastic. The actress that played her, Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, thank you. I was just going to say Catherine Hahn, but I was like, nope.
I thought she was perfect for this role.
She did amazing.
I think she did amazing. She did such a good job. Her saying to Scarlet Witch when she basically sucked her powers away, you don't know what you've done. You're going to need me later on. You're more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. When I heard that, I was like, ooh, like that's some foreshadowing and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It's literally laying up the next movie.
A lot of stuff she said during that last episode was like, all right, like I see where this is leading to. Like Scarlet Witch might have these powers now that she might not be able to control and whatnot.
And that's where Agatha comes in.
And that's where Agatha comes in, right. I don't think she'll appear in Doctor Strange. I think we will see her in the future, but I don't think she'll be in Doctor Strange. I'm not too sure about that. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I think it would be almost a little bit too soon to break her out of that prison.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, you know what, if she's going to be that side person for her, you know, it almost might make sense to also have Doctor Strange bring Agatha there and say, help me break her out of a spell, and that's where, like, give her the ultimatum, like, I will release you from your spell, but you have to help me.
Yeah.
And then Agatha ends up turning on Doctor Strange to help her become more power, you know, that kind of a concept. So.
I like that. A fantastic, and I mean fantastic Age of Ultron throwback scene of Scarlet Witch sneaking up fast and mind controlling Agatha like she did to Robert Downey, like she did to all the Avengers except for Hawkeye.
No.
Yeah, remember Hawkeye put the electrifying arrow to her head?
Oh, yes,
and she's like, I'm not getting mind controlled again because Loki did that.
It was Loki, yes. I was going to say, I'm like, wait a second. Nope, he got Loki. Yep.
I saw that. I was freaking out. I was like, yes, like I love to saw that. She deserves a hand
award. If there's some type of hand acting award, her hand motions made me think she's a witch, man. Like that. She was doing...
You must feel ridiculous doing that when you don't have those special effects looking at right in front of you, so and you're just like, doing this and everything like that, you know? Yeah, right. She does a great job with it.
Dude, it fully immerses me.
This one is another little problem that I've had with the show. It's Sword director Hayward. I thought he was a terrible villain as the series concluded. I think his story is done. I really hope they don't bring him back for any sort of Marvel project. You know, we might see him come up again if White Vision goes to him, like, is like, all right, explain yourself sort of deal. Like, you know, but I understood his purpose in creating the White Vision and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I did not. He was a dick, and that made it work. That made his character work. But I just don't...
It just kind of sucked with him because he's the one who implanted the thought of bringing Vision back to life for her.
Yeah. Well, what was he doing that for her?
Yeah, he said it. Because she
I think
came
he's
in
just
there,
a deceptive...
See, but she went in there not to bring him back to life.
Right.
She went in there to get him... and bury him for a funeral.
Yes, yeah.
But when he then said, not anyone can bring him back online and bring him back to life, I think that implanted it. So a part of me does still think that Agatha was at play there, because a lot of people still allude to the fact that happened, then she went to the car and the plot of land was there, and for her to go there was Agatha's doing, because then when she got there, the plot of land was maybe, yes, for her from Vision, like actually, but Agatha got a hold of it and left it and had her create this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Vision couldn't have done it. Vision was dead. So how did she get that plot of land? Like that just showed up there. When she that wasn't her like getting a paper she knew was there. That was her, what is this? Open it up. what is this? Where are we going? Goes and finds it, you know? So that's where, when that paired with the Hayward thing combined, I was more bummed that Hayward wasn't Mephisto, Nightmare,
someone,
too. Because that would have been a better payoff, in the sense that when he got away, then we know, okay, he was the one pulling all the strings. He was trying to do it on the outside. I agree. He wasn't the best. I do hope, though, that he is back and there is reasoning behind it. Like, I do hope he comes back and they're like, exactly like I said, like, you tried to get her to bring Vision back online. Was it to destroy her? Was it to kill her?
Right.
What was your original motivation? Was it for her to power Vision back online and then you to take control of him?
Yeah.
You know, so
I think that last thought was the case.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was the case.
So, you know, I think I would like to see that happen, and, like, I would love for him to eventually team up with another villain. Like, he would be a good villain that goes into jail with not Loki, but, like, a Loki-like character.
Yeah.
Someone that can manipulate him, pull the strings, but he thinks he's doing it for the better good, you know, what, blah, blah, blah. All that shit.
Right.
And then he teams up with, like, him and Ulysses Claw would be such a good combo.
Yeah.
If Ulysses Claw was still alive and Ulysses Claw was in jail and pulling the string, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but yeah, no, I get you. It wasn't my favorite thing about it, and I think it was also underwhelming that so many people were saying he's Nightmare, he's Mephisto, he's Nightmare, he's Agatha's husband, he's Ralph, he's, you know, so I don't think that helped, that everyone was foreshadowing that he was this big bad. And he was more just, again, a dickhead that tried to shoot kids.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely, they tried to shoot kids, right.
Tried to kill 2 kids.
Yeah.
It's not, people don't forget, dude.
And, you know.
Just terrible aim.
Yeah, terrible aim. I did every point except for this last one, and it's what I thought the funniest episode was.
Okay.
It was the Modern Family episode of it.
Modern Family is one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
I think it's hilarious as well.
All time.
Yeah.
So, spot on.
Very spot on.
Spot on inspection of them.
I just thought it was such a good episode, and it was just so funny to me. Like, the interviews and everything. Like, when Vision was getting interviewed.
At the carnival.
Yeah, at the carnival, and was it at the car?
No, it was behind the funnel cake truck. Like, he was the funnel. He had his legs crossed.
Yes, yeah. Come on, like, that's just hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like so funny.
But he was still in the thing, so, like, that was what was cool about it. He was still in the truck. That was like a cutaway, but he was still, like, in live time in the truck with Darcy.
Yeah.
But, like, Wanda was making him think he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, whatever. You know where I'm going.
No, yeah. Speaking of Darcy, I thought she did pretty well.
I don't know why she wasn't at the end, though.
Yeah, she kind of, like, ran off afterwards. She said she thought that stuff afterwards was boring or something of that nature. Yeah, I don't know. That does leave questions of where she could have went or stuff like that of that nature. I'll tell you what, I didn't like her in the Thor movies. I didn't like her in Thor 1 and 2.
I liked her a lot in this.
Yeah, yes, I liked her in this.
I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with her. I really don't. A part of me hopes they do give her a certain power, but a part of me hopes they don't. You know, like,
I don't want that.
I wouldn't want her to be like Photon. Like, I wouldn't want her to have Photon. Like, I wouldn't want her to have power. Almost be okay with her having super knowledge. She's already a smart person.
Yeah.
But, like, she just got smarter. Like, that was her ability that was enhanced when she went through the thing. When the Hex brought her in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, everyone has something that gets enhanced. Not super speed, but, like, you're faster.
Are we talking about mutants?
Exactly.
That's kind of what it sounds like right there, yeah.
You're not wrong.
For sure.
If Darcy was just having, like, a mental breakdown and she was then the Phoenix.
The Phoenix, yeah.
The Weasel.
The Weasel.
The only thing I will say that I picked up on, that I know we talked about it before, but Ultron. So
okay,
we wanted to really quickly touch on this. So I have a theory that when Vision came back and he was talking, he has a very muffled voice. Now, that is Ultron and Jarvis combined, this Vision. So I think that voice is not only Paul Bettany, but I also think it is Ultron combined.
Yeah.
And I think it's the two of them combined. Now, if that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But a lot of people were trying to bring the whole, oh, well, it's Ultron, he's coming back. because the actor, who's the actor?
That played Ultron?
Yeah.
James Spader.
James Spader's casted in the show. And it's because I think we saw, like, I think if you go on Google, it, like, comes up, or on IMDb, it comes up as plays Ultron.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were saying, oh, well, Ultron's coming back. So I think that would be a great way to dismiss it and say, that's what you got.
Yeah.
You got Ultron talking under Vision.
Yes.
And it would also be a great way to depict the Vision has taken over.
Yeah.
Like, Vision is now no longer the secondary character to the Ultron or the Jarvis. Vision is in control now, fully. Like, when you thought it was, oh, Ultron was the person, no. It's really the Vision. I'm in charge now. I control this. And then hopefully, it doesn't go bad or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't make it interesting, though. It would be cool. Like, it would be cool to see the White Vision fighting with himself, like fighting with Ultron in his head.
100%.
And then,
if Ultron's like the devil on his shoulder
yes,
kind of a thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be an amazing concept.
I think that would be really cool.
You just see him. He's just he could be great cutscenes for the next 2 movies. Like, him just toying with himself, and you just hear Ultron in the back of his head, just, what would she do if she was here right now?
Yeah.
Like Wanda alluding to that, or like, only if you could have saved your children, like shit like that, to get him to that point where he's almost going crazy then. Because then if Multiverse ends on a note where Wanda is still maybe not the bad guy but looked at as the bad guy, then Vision could then go after her, or if she harms the kids, Vision could go after, something like that.
Yeah. But that's all I really had for WandaVision.
Yeah.
Besides the Ultron thing, you have anything else?
I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was well put together. I thought it was well written. I think certain parts seemed a little clunky and rushed, but I mean, it was their first TV show, so I can't be that mad at it. Mm-hmm. Like, there were certain things you were like, oh, well, could have been a little bit longer, more explained, whatever. We thought every character was a bad person. We thought Dottie was a villain. We thought...
Yeah, right.
Dottie... But did you see that Dottie's name is Sarah Proctor? Did you read that? Did you hear that in the thing? So Sarah Proctor was part of the Proctor family in the Salem witch trials, and she wasn't ever condemned, but Sarah Proctor was part of the people that were on trial, so a lot of people were like, oh, well, Dottie's real name is Sarah Proctor.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people are thinking she was also a witch, and that she's not strong enough, so that there's a chance that Dottie's going to be the secondary witch with another witch.
Yeah.
And that's where the 3 of them are on the brooch, because it's the 3 people on the brooch kind of a thing.
Yes.
So, I don't know. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm very happy about it. I'm super souped that it was good, and I'm excited for the rest of this shit to go on.
100%, my man.
Top 5 time?
Top 5 time.
What do you got for us, Luke, before we get into our top 5s here?
Been an on and off kind of couple weeks with the food taste testing kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So Oreo has a new strawberry frosted donut flavor, and boy, I love me some strawberry stuff, so I'm gonna try them out.
Alrighty.
Frank, you ready for this bad boy?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Cheers.
Ooh, cheers. Is that like peanut butter with it
too?
No,
it's not peanut butter. It's supposed to be, so if you see, it's like pink colored with cream and glitter.
Okay.
So that's the strawberry. And the bottom layer is supposed to taste like a donut. So like that's the dough of the donut,
like
kind
a
of
doughy sort of deal?
It's not like doughy, but like it's supposed to taste more like a donut, and the strawberry tastes like the strawberry.
All right, let's try it out. Oh, dude. These are banging.
Yep. It's literally one of the best Oreo flavors that's come out. Like a specialty flavor.
Mm-hmm.
In so long.
I tried those Lady Gaga ones. Didn't taste like any different than regular Oreo.
There was nothing different, right?
Nothing different with them except for like the
color?
food coloring kind of deal. But these are fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'm going to really quickly just give it a 9-1. I know that might sound wild.
No, not at all. I'm probably going to give it higher.
They're wild. I'm not gonna lie. I think I could eat more of these than regular Oreos.
Me too.
Like in a sitting.
Oh, me too.
I think the golden Oreos in general are lighter, so you can do more damage to them.
Mm-hmm.
If you want another one to taste your palate, cleanse your palate really quickly, by all means.
Yeah.
Dude, they're so freaking good.
They're excellent.
And like, I also like them because I don't think they're too overpowering, which is great. Like, when you get a lot of specialty stuff, you eat it and you're like you're like 2 down and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's enough for me. Like, I could probably finish a whole sleeve of these.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and oh, dude, they're so good.
I'm going to go ahead and give this a 9.5. These are fantastic.
Dude, so fucking good.
I hope these are like everywhere right now.
They are. I mean, where did I get them? I got them at ShopRite, like up by me. But ShopRite, Walmart probably have them.
Yeah.
Dude, they're. I'm gonna give you these. I'm gifting you these.
Yeah? All right.
Because I have a whole nother one in my car, and I will house through them. So these are yours.
I appreciate that.
Minus the one that I might take before I leave.
Yeah.
Dude, because like I got the 2-pack, and I was like, oh, this is sick. I'm like, I'll keep one in my car, bring one in the house, and then I was like, my girlfriend doesn't watch this, so this is great. I'm like, nah, they're both staying with me. And the one I've just been like, I'll have like 1 or 2, just like if I'm just like on my way home or something, nothing crazy. Because again, 2 of them are 150 calories. Not that I'm crazy calorie counting, but like I don't need to finish a whole sleeve of Oreos on my way home from work. So I'm like, all right, I'll have 1 or whatever, and I keep them in my car. But I'm like, I have a whole nother one, and I will not let her get them right now because they're so freaking good. And I'm like, she'll just house them if she sees them. I don't know if she'd like them like that. Like, I love strawberry shit. So
Me too. Yeah.
I also really like golden Oreos. So that was where, like, it was a perfectly meshed thing where I was like, shit, man, these are crack. And they're so good.
They are.
So
They are.
good. They're literally so good.
No, these are excellent. I'm surprised they haven't done
Yeah.
something like this sooner. They are so good.
Oreo, I'm like fascinated by, if you ever want to go on like a really cool deep dive, like go on the Instagram pages of the people that like collect Oreos. Dude, Oreo is like so wild with some of the flavors they've had. Like,
sure.
and I'm like, dude, I'm jealous that I haven't had to try some of them before.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if there's one thing in this world that I wish I could just like try and eat everything without getting fat, like that would be my superpower.
Yeah.
Like just eating and consume, just because, not because I'm a fat boy, but like food in general is so cool. Not like processed shit, but like, dude, tell me you wouldn't love to go to Italy and just house every different like top-rated Italian place that you could in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that'd be my superpower if I had one.
I like it. I like
much
it.
consuming as
like
much
it.
consuming as like. But
He's-
let's do it. Top 5, baby.
Let's do it up. Yeah, he's got the shirt for it and everything. You got Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., A Bug's Life, WALL-E, Cars, Ratatouille, and Incredibles. Yeah,
right?
very
Yep.
nice.
Couple of them, and Finding Nemo, Finding Dory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Couple
right.
of them might, you know, who knows? Maybe some of them will be on my top 5. I'll really quickly start though, and I'm not gonna say any.
Yeah.
Every list that I make, there's always a tie. This time, my number 5 was a 3-way tie, just because I was
all
sitting
right.
there. And my honorable mentions, there's so. I mean, dude, everything Pixar puts out is good.
That's what I was gonna say.
Let's just preface it that
Yeah.
way really quickly.
All of them are honorable mentions that
Yes,
didn't make it to our
100%.
top 5.
My
yeah.
number 5 though is just because these 3 movies, in my opinion.
Why the fuck does this keep doing this?
So yeah, I mean, really quickly, I'll just say the honorable mentions that I wrote down then, if you want,
Yeah.
before we get into it. Incredibles 2 didn't make my final list, but it's definitely there. Great movie, even though it was a secondary movie of it.
Yeah.
Great. Toy Story 4, I mean, you know, I don't really think I need to say much about it.
Yeah.
Toy Story 2 also just missed my list, and that is probably going to offend some people, because I know a lot of people love Toy Story 2, where it just barely missed it for me. I really liked Onward, the newest one. I thought it was really well put together. I don't think it was as well received as it should have been. I think a lot of people, you know. I haven't seen Coco yet, and I haven't seen
Me
Soul.
neither. I
so
heard
I
Coco was
haven't seen
fantastic,
either
though.
one of. I heard they're both amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either one yet, so I won't put them on it. But I heard they're great. Bug's Life was one for me. As a kid, I always literally was obsessed with. And then the WALL-E, the only reason it doesn't make my top 5, it's an amazingly well put together movie, and I think it deserves to be the number 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
It just didn't have as much of a tie to me because I wasn't watching as many movies and into it and as invested in that when it came out. So I wasn't as on top of it, where I can still appreciate that it's amazing, but it just didn't make my top 5 because these top 5 for me are all just movies that I'm obsessed with.
Yes. Okay. What I'll say is I've never seen Coco.
Yeah.
I did see Soul, though, when it came out on Christmas Day.
I heard Soul was great, though.
Soul was fantastic.
Great.
Never seen WALL-E. I've never seen WALL-E, yeah.
WALL-E's great.
And the only other Disney Pixar movie that I have... Oh, 2 other ones I haven't seen. Brave.
I've seen Brave.
And The Good Dinosaur.
I haven't seen Good Dinosaur,
Yeah.
but I heard it's good.
I heard it's good,
Like,
too.
you know.
I heard The Good Dinosaur is like the
not
weakest...
Pixar, right? It's just,
Tangled
it's
is in
Disney.
Pixar,
Okay,
yeah, it's
perfect.
just Disney, yeah. But yeah, The Good Dinosaur I heard is like the weakest of any Pixar movie,
Yeah.
but it was still good.
And I heard Brave is the same. I think the two
Yes.
of them are like the 2 weakest ones, but
Yeah.
like
So like I was saying before, like what me and Luke were saying before, all these movies are excellent. You know, if they didn't make it to our top 5, they're all there on our honorable mentions. We're just going to
100%.
pick out ones that we have more to talk about and whatnot.
Yep.
So I have 2 big honorable mentions. One of them is Soul, a movie that I just watched, like I said before. The messaging behind it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It even got me a little teary-eyed towards the end as well.
yeah. Well, it's an adult-based movie, you would say
It's
more.
definitely
like,
an adult-based
Yeah.
movie, yeah. Like,
Okay.
kids will enjoy it,
Yeah.
but, like, you're definitely going to get more out of it if you're older, sort
Yeah.
of deal, because you're just going to understand
100%.
it more. And just the whole concept of, you know, there's the afterlife, but this focuses on the pre-life. I think that's fantastic, too. I thought that was a great concept.
and for someone that's as spiritual as you are,
Yeah.
I think you could almost have a better
Not understanding, but appreciation of it.
appreciation. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
It just, I guess, it hits you more because you have that kind of more spiritual being in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, I'd even say
Yeah.
where it's gonna hit everybody in the heart spots because everyone's gonna love it. But I feel like you could probably almost be like, I feel that even more. Because,
100%.
You feel it on 100%.
Yeah, yes. So that's all I really have to say about Soul. The other one is A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
That was their second movie that Pixar ever released, I believe.
Toy Story, Bug's Life.
Yeah. But there's an interesting thing about the backstory of A Bug's Life and another very popular animated movie, Ants. Now, I wrote down some
ANTZ.
facts. The battle between studios, Disney versus DreamWorks. Both films were released within 6 weeks of each other in
knew that.
1998.
Yeah, crazy.
Ants came first, though. Ants was able to come out first. But A Bug's Life was always getting worked on. This guy named Jeffrey Katzenberg was promised a number 2 spot in a position at Disney, but never got it. And then later on, Disney dropped him. And Katzenberg, like, sued them. It cost Disney some money or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a bad blood situation at the end of the day.
And is that where Ants came from?
Yeah. DreamWorks. No, and then Katzenberg creates his own studio, DreamWorks, and announces that this movie called Ants is coming out.
Yep.
Now, it's not confirmed that he knew that A Bug's Life was, like, in the works at Pixar, but I have a feeling, like, he knew.
He knew.
You know, sort of deal.
He knew.
And the fact that they just came out so close together, it's just an interesting story.
I mean,
like, I don't know.
Bug's Life versus Ants.
So, you know the Instagram poll podcast that we're going to do?
Yeah.
That's going to be one of mine. That's going to be one of mine.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a competition, personally.
I don't think it... they're both very good
I think
movies.
Ants is decent. I think
A
it's
Bug's Life is
decent.
fantastic,
Bug's Life is
though.
fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I
agree.
literally am fascinated. If I could consume one thing, it would be the little... Do you know what I'm talking about? The little... On the leaf, how they have the bar.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Like fictional food. We should just do a fictional food podcast.
That would be
on
cool.
Food that we would love to consume from movies and
Oh,
TV
hell
shows.
yeah.
That's it.
That's
would
a good
love to
one.
just like the frickin' shots that they're doing off the leaves. Just I just like I don't know why I'm so fascinated by just the consumption of that raindrop from a leaf.
Yeah.
Love it.
Speaking of, I would like to take shots of, really just one shot. That the Asgardian drink that Thor gives to Stan Lee. That would be interesting to try.
Every Stan Lee consuming food cameo.
Yeah,
Should go to the place that he was eating at.
But those are my
Rest
two
in peace,
honorable
Stan
mentions.
Lee, really quickly, man.
Yes,
You're the
rest
goat.
in peace.
Absolute goat. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so I'll do my number 5. My number 5 is Ratatouille, one of the ones
There
on your
you
show
go.
right there.
Alrighty.
I think, and I actually just recently watched this movie with my students the other day. Such a good movie, man. And the thing about that movie, it's so underappreciated. A lot of people forget about this movie.
Yep.
And I don't know why, to be completely honest with you. Maybe because the appeal of rats just doesn't do it for people. I don't know what the case may be, but it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
What year did it come out? I want to say.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, like, if it came out around the time of the recession, which I want to say it did.
Let's see. Oh, it's giving me the actual dish.
The dish. So Ratatouille, I'll also say it didn't make my list, but it is a phenomenal 2007. So it's like right prior to the financial, like the crisis and stuff.
Yeah.
I also just feel like
effect.
that time was just weird with movies and film. Personally, like I feel the same way about a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just missed mine. I still love it. I really think it's still a great movie.
Yeah.
But it just like was one of those things, like you kind of said, maybe it was the allure of rats. I just don't know if I was maybe as attached to the characters.
Sure.
And I think that's where it kind of fell short with certain things, but it was still a phenomenal movie. It's just that when you look at it from the surface, it's just like, oh, I'm not as invested in a rat and a guy that's reviewing a restaurant.
Yeah,
and a chef.
right.
You know, that world to a lot of people is probably not as alluring to a robot or a family or a fish that can talk or toys or you know what I'm saying? So
just the whole concept of him pulling the guy's hair to make his movements and whatnot. It's comedic and it's genius. It's just a genius way of doing it.
That's why Pixar's Pixar.
Pixar's Pixar. That's why. Exactly. I do get what you're saying with character attachment, though, because I didn't really necessarily have the attachment for the characters, but it was really just the overall story and concept of it that I really enjoyed the most. Also, rats in a kitchen. Like, you don't want to see rats in a kitchen.
Of course
that's
not.
That's the whole reason they probably did this, you know? Like,
100%.
it's like, oh, but they could make amazing food, you know?
He can cook.
He can cook, right. Exactly. So that is my number 5
there
right
you go.
there.
My number 5. 3-way tie. I hate to do this to you guys, but like I was just sitting there and I was trying to really get the list made, and these 3 movies just I couldn't not have them in my top 5. Inside Out and Up.
Okay.
Up, I wasn't as big on when people got on it. I didn't see it when it first came out, but later on, oh my God, it is amazing. It's so well put together. The storyline is phenomenal. I cry every time, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That shit makes me cry.
Well,
because
it's the beginning of the movie,
I mean,
and
dude,
they lay that on you like that.
They just punch you right in the face, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Inside Out, I also think is an amazingly put together movie, and I think a lot of people don't give it credit. I think it will become a classic when it's longer lived.
Yeah.
It's out longer. And then Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. was my number 5, and the other 2 just got thrown on it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Monsters, Inc. was 2001. It was Monsters, Inc. and Shrek won the Academy Award.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Snow Dogs was in the running. No, but dude, I mean, just the three of those movies in general, just amazing. I loved Monsters, Inc. I think Monsters University was amazing too.
That was very good too.
And a lot of people, again, that doesn't get a lot of credit because it was the secondary movie. Still great, still amazing, still love it. But those 3 movies are my number 5 just because I love them all so much, and I couldn't not put them on the list.
Okay, I like it. My number 4 is The Incredibles. Just to speak a little shortly on Incredibles 2, I do think it was a very good movie, but I don't think it topped the first one necessarily.
No, definitely not.
Being a superhero fan, like, of course I'm going to eat it up.
Exactly.
Of course I'm going to eat it up. I love that shit. Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was so excellent. What I really like about The Incredibles is the soundtrack for it.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. You know, like that music, I think it just pumps me up.
Yeah.
Like it almost pumps me up as much as the Avengers theme song.
Yeah,
I'm not even
exactly.
gonna lie. I think it's that good.
Jack's also an amazing character.
Jack's an amazing character. That was the most comedic part of the movie when we realized he has powers with the babysitter. I thought that whole thing was fantastic.
Best character development ever.
yeah. Mr. Incredible, him being like an oldish man now and everything like that. Another funny scene is when his back's killing him, and then the Dr. Octopus robot machine is like stretching him out. His back cracks. He's like, "Ha! I can feel again. Yes, good." And he was able to kick the robot's ass. And Syndrome too. I thought the character development and whole story of the villain was great too. And you know, it's maybe because I was younger, but I thought the reveal of Syndrome being the kid that wanted to be his sidekick was such a shocker and surprise to me.
Good,
that it just made it that much better. So to summarize it, fantastic movie. It had the action in it. Frozone, where is my suit? Like so many quotable lines from it too.
Where is my super suit?
So good. And
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
Right. Samuel L. Jackson,
like what? Man can do no wrong.
Oh, and you know, not to get too raunchy with it, but I was about to say Mrs. Fantastic. Elastigirl. God, she has a rocket body. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm not making any kind of a comment.
Rocking.
Because
Rocking.
I don't think she's not in high school. She's not in high school.
What are you talking about?
Is she in high school? Oh, the mom?
No, the mom.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the girl. I thought
no, not Violet. No.
I was like, oh my God.
No.
All right.
Elastigirl, the mom.
I can somewhat support that comment. I can somewhat support that comment.
That'll be my closing statement for The Incredibles.
I'm not going to say he's wrong. All right, so my number 4 is Toy Story 3.
Okay.
Dude, there's not much to say. I mean, the movie was phenomenal. When you think they're gonna like all just meet their end.
Oh my God!
Like,
biggest tearjerker in Pixar history.
Dude. Oh my God! Like I literally swear, I remember. I don't even remember. I thought we were watching the movie together. I thought we all saw the movie back in the days.
We might have.
We might have. And I remember I was crying looking at the people next to me. I don't remember who they were, but might just be because I was crying. Like, oh, dude, it was such a tearjerker. And they did such a good job of the final, what we thought was going to be the wrap-up to the movie.
Yeah.
And the concept of just like, they've been here with us this whole time, and now if it's time for them to go, they're going out together with us watching. We're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, oh my God. But, dude, Toy Story 3, it's an amazing all-time classic.
It is. It truly is. Yeah.
It's hard to get a third movie being as good, if not better, than the first or second.
I agree. I mean,
it's hard.
I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but I totally agree with you with that. Yeah, 100%. I'm good to go with mine?
You're good.
All right, my number 3 is the original Toy Story.
Okay.
What a movie for a studio to first start off with.
Yeah.
You know, what a blockbuster killer movie. Like, it just kudos to Pixar for having that sort of idea and concept and putting that out as their first film.
To generate it to where it is now. Not like to let it come out and be like, all right, that was fun. Let's keep moving with the live action shit.
Yeah,
like to keep pouring it out and growing and keep the development of these characters and shit there. Like,
yeah.
So freaking good.
You know, You Got a Friend with Me, a staple song, just in general for Disney.
I'll cry.
And, you know, you have a pretty key cast for it. Like, those voices are so familiar now to us.
Tim Allen and
Tom Hanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Woody and Buzz.
Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy.
Rainbow Six.
Siege.
Toy Story 6. Siege.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, I look back at Toy Story, and the beauty of it is, like, obviously their animation isn't nearly what it looks like nowadays.
No, of course not.
But that makes it so much better, in my opinion. And I'll just keep on going back to it. It was their Pixar's first feature film, and they knocked it out of the ballpark.
100%.
It was fantastic. That is their staple franchise.
Yep.
You know, that is literally their staple franchise. It's the franchise that they made the most movies of. Sure, you have Cars 1 through 3, but now you have Toy Story 1 through 4.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic movie. And Sid, when I was younger, I hated Sid. Hated Sid so much. And those toys that came from under his bed.
Oh, my God. Terrifying.
The baby head with the
terrifying
spider claws.
Terrifying.
Freaking terrifying. But yeah, that is my number 3 right there.
My number 3 is Finding Nemo.
Okay.
I mean, again, I feel like every one of these you could just say it and be like, all right, that's it. That's why. They're amazing. Finding Nemo, I think, was the thing that every Pixar movie has great secondary characters.
Yes.
And I think we finally realized that when Finding Nemo came out. We had known it with all the other ones, but when Finding Nemo, all these characters in the tank and Dory. I mean, Dory was the sidekick.
Yeah.
And Dory became bigger than Nemo did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just that movie and how well put together it is and how good the characters are and the storytelling of it all, and just that is one of those movies that not only will stick with me forever, but I can probably watch it on repeat. Like every other movie I'd watch a couple times, whatever. I think I could watch Finding Nemo probably from start to finish, just over and over and over again. It's an all-time classic.
No, I agree, 100%. I mean, I'll lead off with my number 2 because it's also Finding Nemo.
Yep.
You know, I watch a lot of movies in the theaters, and you know, it's not rare to like remember exactly who you were with and what theater you were exactly at when you see a movie.
But for some reason, I think I loved Finding Nemo so much. Stop. I'm just gonna get the audio.
It's all good, bro. Do it up.
I think I loved Finding Nemo so much that I remembered who I was with. My aunt, I was with my cousins and whatnot, and I just remember enjoying the shit out of the movie. Like I was younger and whatnot, so I was laughing at just about everything that was happening in the movie. And like you said, the secondary characters,
amazing.
Dory is a fantastic. That's why is it he or
Marlon.
she actually?
What?
Dory. Do you know?
I'm not getting canceled on this.
I'm sorry.
If you want to get canceled on this episode, be my guest.
All right,
I will not die on that hill tonight.
Shouldn't have even asked that question.
You are an idiot.
But anyway, Dory got God damn it. God damn it.
How dare you?
I'm with her right now. Sorry if I offend anyone.
You said what?
You heard me.
You're a monster.
She got her own movie. I'm done using any sort
You're
of.
You're using
pronouns
she now?
Yeah.
Monster. My God.
But you know,
animal.
Dory got the movie, and it was because of how popular of a character Dory was. You know.
I just can't look at you the same.
I know. I'm still thinking about it too. God damn it.
All right, so my number 2 is Incredibles. I think you said a lot of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The Incredibles video game, I distinctly remember playing a lot on, I think it was the Game Boy Advanced or the DS, whatever it was, but I loved that game so much that like I would just constantly watch the movie. And my family, we watched a lot of movies at my house. We watched a lot of like blockbusters and stuff. Like that was where we did it. We didn't really go out as much to movies. We'd occasionally do it. When I got older, like with Jake, me and Jake used to go to movies a lot. We'd go to a movie as a Saturday, and we'd be there from 11 o'clock to 7.
Yeah, right.
And we would just do every movie that was in the theaters and stuff. But The Incredibles, I think my whole family went to see it, and like I just distinctly remember that, like being with my whole family, and I think that also like adds to it because it was a family movie for a family, and you know those are always great things. When you can get a group of because as you get older, you watch movies by yourself, you watch movies with your girlfriend, whatever you do, like when you're younger and you can watch a family movie about a family, like that's always better. That always adds to kind of the story and makes you feel more homey and feel more comfortable with it. And Incredibles was just that movie for me. So that's my number 2.
Alrighty.
Number 1 time.
My number 1 is Toy Story 3. I think it's my number 1 because the emotional roller coaster that it took me on. Like you mentioned before, when they're about to get incinerated, tear-jerking, and even after they didn't die and survived, still tear-jerking when Andy gives them up to Bonnie.
That might have had... I think I was crying more for that than them dying. And it was only because you finally thought, like, oh, like he did... Like, they did it, they're back. You know, he's gonna be older and, like, won't appreciate them still as much, but, like, he's still there. Yeah. And then when he's like, no, like, you're going to a better home, it's like...
Yeah, that definitely insanely sad. And the thing is, we grew up with these characters, and we grew up with those movies. It's like we were growing up with Andy.
100%. Like,
we were growing up with
the
Andy.
first one came out in '95. That was when we were born.
Yeah.
So,
right.
You watch it when you're 2 or 3. That's the movie. Like
yes.
that I'll get to it, but that sticks with me. You know what I'm saying?
And because originally in the movie, Andy was gonna keep Woody.
Yep.
And bring him to college. And when he's just looking at Woody, he was like, "Yeah, you could have him," sort of deal. It's like it was just so sad. It was.
But
so
it was also it wasn't sad. It was like
it wasn't sad in a bad way.
It was selfless for him because it wasn't. He would have brought him to college, and like that's a great thing to have. But he realized that like she was someone that needed him more than he did. So it was like I had my memories with you. I had my time with you. I will never forget it, and I would love to keep you. But now it's time for me to move on and give you to someone else that will take care of you and appreciate you and stuff like that. Now, the only thing I will say that makes it more sad now is like I feel like that movie was done well at the point that it was at because now I feel like toys are not as involved with kids. I don't think kids like toys as much.
Yeah,
like
that's a good point.
I have a lot of my childhood toys still, and like when I pick them up, hold them. Like there's wrestlers that I hold. I have 2 Beanie Babies that I was given when I was born.
Yeah.
Their names are Luke. They were literally a little chocolate lab. I keep them to this day. Like I would never give them away.
Yeah.
There's like stuff like that like I keep and like has that attachment to me. Where like kids now, I feel like have just become so consumed with either like just the fact of like growing to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's not even like I won't even give it the technology thing because technology is 100% the problem with it.
Yeah.
But it's also just because of the next thing. Like they don't care. Like, do you remember when Hatchables were crazy? Do you remember those?
Yes. I actually never owned.
Well, the Hatchables were like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, okay,
so, like,
all right.
There were Hatchables.
No, weren't they there for longer? Weren't they there when we were younger?
Hatchables?
Yeah. Or unless I'm thinking about something else.
You might be thinking of. Do you remember the Hatch dinosaur oatmeal eggs? Do you remember those? Crazy throwback.
I'm not sure. Now I'm confused.
I'll show you. Wait.
Yeah, one other thing I'll say about Toy Story 3 is that, Buzz's, one of the funniest parts of Toy Story 3 was Buzz's Spanish mode, when he was speaking Espanol and everything like that. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, so
these
good.
hatch animals. So these were.
Oh yeah, actually I don't.
So these things were basically like an egg. And that you got it, and you had to rub. There's like a heart on it. You rub the heart, and then you pop it. You like put your fingers in it, and then an animal comes out. Like one of these hatch animals comes in.
Okay.
So these were huge. I had 2 little cousins that were like for I swear like a year or 2. This was all they wanted. Every birthday, Christmas. This was it. And then it just died. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I just feel like now we've come to a time where like this is the fade. We had the same thing, like it happened for us, but I feel like now it's so like it was so just like, oh, what's going on? Boom, gone. Like boom, gone. Like and that's just like the generations that we're in now. But I definitely feel you on that.
You could kind of like. I think Disney's transition with it, toys are popular. They are popular still and whatnot. I mean, you look at superhero movies; they make most of their money off of toys and whatnot in the marketing and toys. But Disney's adaptation of that with kids nowadays is like Wreck-It Ralph, going into the internet and video games and everything.
Also
like that,
great, by the way.
Yeah, fantastic movie as well. But yeah, Toy Story 3 was my number 1. I could argue with people that they should have never made Toy Story 4, and I don't think I would argue with a lot of people. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. Not to say Toy Story 4 was bad. It was a good movie, but did they need it? Kinda, not really.
I will agree. So I'll agree with you over the fact that, like, I won't argue with you. Like, I don't necessarily think they needed it. But I also won't say if I had hated it, because I think back in the day I think I was big anti it. But you know what? I mean, they proved me wrong. It was good. So I can't really be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Like, yeah, like, should you have left it at 30? Yes, but, I mean, like, they also probably caught a fat bag for that thing.
Oh,
man.
of course.
That made so much money. Like,
course
so much money. Was it as good as all the others? No, but it was still good.
Yeah.
All right, but I'll do my number one. My number one is just something I've always watched. I'm so invested in, and it's The Walking Dead.
God, building it up like that, and then you drop that.
I was gonna just go so long. I was gonna just like keep going, but I was like, I can't. I was like, I feel like Frank will like kick me out if I just dragged it on. No, but it's Cars. No,
Okay.
it's not Cars. It's Toy
I was about
Story.
to say, interesting choice.
No, definitely not Cars. Definitely not The Walking Dead. Toy Story.
Okay.
Toy Story was just that movie for me that when, again, I was 2, 3, 4, however old I was, like, I don't remember, like, I'm not that kid that's like, oh, I remember I watched it on April, whatever. I remember watching as a kid and being obsessed. I remember going to Disney and seeing it and being obsessed. I remember the characters and being obsessed. Like, that was the movie for me as a kid, besides Star Wars, that I was just in love with. Like, I still have my Buzz and Woody toys. Like, it just, dude, and, like, again, every movie they churned out was good. Like, every storyline was good. They just didn't do it, like, they didn't do anything bad with them. And they were just it was such a good concept. And like you said, the thing that almost makes it so great is that it was the first. Like, that almost makes it that much better that it was the first one to come out, you know? So, that's my number one. I could literally be here all day talking about it, so I won't. But Toy Story number one, the best. So obsessed with it, and yeah, that's my list.
Alrighty. Well, I would say we kind of ran through these pretty well.
Dude, we did a good job.
A lot of these films are definitely throwbacks as well when we were younger and how we
100%.
appreciate them and everything like that. So yeah, I'm glad we did this topic.
100%.
And I'm glad we touched a whole bunch of
we got
WandaVision as well.
WandaVision in, we got Walking Dead in,
we got it all in.
Man.
Yeah.
Walking Dead's actually coincidentally back. It's back on TV.
Yeah, for like 8 episodes, right?
It's 6 or 8, I don't know what it is.
Okay. And that's it. And then it's done. Well, not like done, but The Walking Dead is done. And
so
then
I don't know if
spin-offs.
it's this season or season 11. Let me actually look it up. But basically, they're doing like a Daryl and Carol spinoff.
Well, right. I'm talking about
Grimes
the main
movie.
Yeah, no, but I know like the franchise is going to continue, but like The Walking Dead show is after these 6 to 8 episodes, it's like done for that show. But obviously, they're going to keep the other shows running and movies.
I don't think you're wrong.
That was the impression I was under.
I think season 11 is the last one.
So what is this right now?
Season 10. So we're going into that last portion. I think season 11 will be the thing that ties in most of what they're doing.
Yeah.
The Daryl and Carol spinoff will go. Michonne is gone right now. Rick is gone right now. So I think the concept, Fear the Walking Dead is the other spinoff show.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting to that point where I think Fear the Walking Dead is on, or it's going to be its last season, or going into its last season.
Oh, okay.
Where then you'll probably combine them, and then it'll become your main characters will either die or move on, and then you'll start to do some side shows with other characters, some movies, whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, it's not bad. It's just unfortunate because the Walking Dead concept was so good.
Yeah.
It was so well put together in the beginning seasons, and even some of the content lately is not that bad. But it's just like, for all the good, there's just so many little things. You're like, man, you guys are just like, you're just beating this dead horse. Where like they got into season 6, 7, whatever it is, and you're like they had Negan. Negan was one of the best villains I've ever seen. They left us with this crazy cliffhanger that he murked somebody. We didn't know who it was.
Oh, right,
I was fully invested in that.
Yeah.
I had no clue who it was. I watched, literally for one full year, I watched videos on who could have been killed, and his foot placement was where it was, where he was pointing the bat, who was next to it, what hair fought, like, just shit like that. And then I was like, oh, it's good. And then the Whisperers came in, and that was a good arc where the people that wear the skin.
I heard that was decent as well.
It was good, but then it was like every other episode was like beating the dead horse, and you're like, oh my god, like, and then they're not showing the action that you want, and then when they have a massive killing of. They killed all these characters that they abducted all these characters and killed all of them, and they kill them off screen. Yeah. And then they put all their heads on the pikes, which was like a huge moment still. But like instead of you seeing them die, like they went out fighting, which is great. But then this, and then that, it's just, you're like, oh my god, man, like you guys can't make up your mind. So, listen, I'll keep watching. I will, but
gotta keep us updated, man.
I will.
Luke, thank you for coming on tonight.
Of course.
Appreciate it as always. And appreciate you guys as well that watched this episode. So if you liked it, you know what to do. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also follow us on Instagram at Podcast with Frank.
And TikTok.
I'll be putting clips, and TikTok. Don't forget about TikTok. I'll be putting clips of the podcast on my Instagram as well as TikTok. I've been putting them on TikTok as well now too. Also, Frank Gaming Season 2 has ended. Hope you enjoyed the season. I had a lot of fun making it. A third season is kind of in the works, but I don't know when I'm going to do it, so stay tuned for that. And that will do it for us tonight.
Okay.
With that being said, peace out.
I don't know where he opened the show, right? He would go on stage, or most times during the middle of the match, he would just sit there on the ramp and just saying whatever on his mind, about the ice
not
cream.
scripted,
all off script. Sometimes WWE had to cut off his mic. He says, it's not, actually one time the most outrageous one he said was WWE would be a lot better when Vince McMahon's dead.
Don't even get me fucking started on the pipe bombs, dude. I am not a fan of those, dude. He just sounds like a whiny bitch. It was just annoying. I'll watch him now too, and I'll still feel the same way.
I think
it's how can you whine and how can you complain that other people are getting paid more than you when you had the longest reign in WWE history?
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to sit here and be like, Cena's the face? He's John Cena, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
look at him. He's twice your fucking size. He's over for everybody.
And he also, the marketability.
God, it's just ridiculous.
CM Punk, I will agree to an extent where CM Punk is getting mad about it. And I think the real wrestling fans loved CM Punk because he was a wrestler. That was him. But again,